The poor caretaker. I fear his long-standing duties here have affected him.
Hello everyone, Science Viking here, and it is time to return to Darkest Dungeon. Now, with some of my accomplishments in the previous mission, I have a bunch of cash to spend, so let's spend some of it. Let's see. That's enough upgrading the high-level people. Let's invest a little bit in the low-level people. As well, they need some love, too. And below 10,000 is usually the threshold where I start saving my money. Let's see. I have access to a champion level boss, not counting the courtyard. However, I haven't done anything with the Farmstead in quite a while, so let's try out one of these endless quests. Let's see, I want to bring Clarinel, Valange, Presticott, and yeah, let's bring a Plague Doctor for position 3. Let's see how this works. To start off, the Vestal gets the Ancestor's Scroll and a Worry Stone. Okay. Yeah, I'll go for the Dissection Kit and the Blasphemous Vial. Let me make sure you have the right abilities equipped. You do. Now for the Crusader. We all already know what the Crusader is getting. And of course, for the Hellion, the Lioness Warpaint and Heaven's Hairpin. Okay, to the Farmstead and whatever flavor of hell awaits us there. We have anti-venom and bandages. Don't need any blood. I'll bring a little food, and since I don't know what I'm up against, I'll bring a handful of the other supply items, just in case I discover that I need them for something. And let's start this episode with a bang.
Thrice a victim. The seasons took his livelihood. I took his land. And now, uncountable years later, the comet has taken his humanity. My only regret is that I did not live to see that shoddy mill smashed to pieces by the miraculous bounty I reaped from beyond the void.
You know, I feel like the Ancestor sounds more evil in this introduction than he usually does. Like, he usually sounds like someone who was evil, who has, like, come to regret his actions, or is at least just describing his actions objectively. But with this one, it's like, nope, I did it. I'm proud that I did it. I would do it again if I had the chance. And it's like, you know, the more I learn about the Ancestor, the worse he seems to be. Okay, farmhands and plow horses. Alright. Wicked Hack cannot one-shot. If it bleeds, not even close. However, start with Wicked Hack. And for the horse, we'll go with Plague Grenade. Actually, in hindsight, I probably should have gone for Noxious Blast with the farmhand. Okay, it's in stealth. I'm glad I went for Plague Grenade when I did. Okay, fortunately, Ceaseless Labor isn't too bad, but now I can finish off one of them with Zealous Accusation. Damn it! Damn it, Crusader, I'll finish him off with Judgment then.
Maintain the offensive.
Now, the formation isn't really all that broken. And unfortunately, the horse is not blighted enough to finish it off, but it's not in stealth anymore. That's helpful. Alright. Noxious Blast for a little more damage. Okay, it's blighted for 13 and it has 22. Okay, I'm just gonna quick remove the aberration so it doesn't explode.
Cleansed from our lands.
Judgment on the farm.
The ground quakes.
Critical judgment too. question is, do we get the chance to return to our original formation after this fight, or do we get dropped straight into the next fight? Okay, I'm gonna have to manually restore formation. That isn't good. Okay, rearing strike. That probably has a move effect, but apparently not. Alright. Let's use some battlefield medicine on the Crusader. Wicked hack won't kill, but that's okay.
Press this advantage.
Add another judgment
Give
on
them
him.
no quarter.
Blacken our world no longer. But I'm gonna need to move the Crusader back because I don't have strike through. I really should have thought of that at the beginning of this mission.
Size has no intrinsic merit.
This will
Unless
kill.
inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue.
So I may as well go for a adrenaline rush on the Hellion over here. The buff will be useful later. And it's finally time for the Vestal to heal something. Everything she's done so far has been using Judgment.
The slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
Oh, and now there's a turn with no enemies,
Wounds of
which can be
war
good or bad.
healed, but never hidden.
Start. Okay, we got a foreman. There's really... I can't one-shot the farmhand, so there's no way to avoid triggering a riposte on somebody. The question is who. Oh, never mind. Because of the buff from Adrenaline Rush, Wicked Hack could do that. I forgot about that. Many hands. Okay, that's speed and protection. Right. Let's see. Judgment or Dazzling Light? That's the question. So... Judgment will progress us to the end of having to do a performance, and seems to get criticals every time I use it, so let's just go with that. Sowing the seeds of destruction. Alright. Smite will only do 8 to 15, but if I combine it with Wicked Hack, or if it bleeds, it will do the job. Yep. Wicked Hack is a guaranteed kill. The critical was a nice touch, too. One more solid hit, pretty much, and we're done with the foreman. I think Plague Grenade is capable of... It isn't. Anti-Venom now. Actually, I really don't have a good way to take him out. Okay, let's just have the Vestal do some healing for now, and I meant to use the other healing. 150 hours into this game, and I still occasionally get my healing abilities mixed up. In hindsight, I probably should have just prevented explosive undoing.
The mind.
But the good news is, now that the foreman is in position 2, I can hit him with Smite, and it still isn't enough. Even though it triggers a riposte. The accuracy debuff is a large part of what I'm going for. I need to hit the foreman with something to make sure he dies.
Falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Pause from labor. What does that do? It heals him, because of course it does. We need healing ourselves right now. We're also about to get shuffled, so get ready. Alright. Smite could one-shot, or it could do nothing and trigger a riposte. And I guess he's using Sow the Seeds. I guess the farmhand has decided that one good blight deserves another. Can I blight? Yeah, its blight resistance is 0, so that will get rid of the crystalline aberration. And now we get shuffled again. Okay, this is not as bad of a way to be shuffled as the other one was. Alright. Get some anti-venom, and... yeah, I can't reach the farmhand anymore. So let's just hit the plow horse with normal
Another one
damage.
falls.
Every one of them will fall. Okay. Plague Doctor back 1. Okay, and it's getting ready. The plow horse is getting ready for another charge. That ain't good. Alright, big healing on the
wounds of
9.
war
9
can be
is,
healed,
that's really more like medium-sized
never
healing.
hidden.
I was hoping for big healing. Alright, Wicked Hack can one-shot because of the Lion's
Destroyed.
Warpaint. Zealous Accusation can't remove the corpse, so no reason not to use Smite.
Continue the onslaught.
Because now I need to get rid of those 2
Destroy
seeds of
them
madness.
all.
And survive what this thing is about to do. That's the other thing I have to do. Alright. One more hit and the plow horse is gone. Okay. Clarinel isn't guaranteed to kill, so I'll have her heal instead. Especially since none of her trinkets boost her damage output. Small chance that this... Yep. Okay, that's the aberration taken care of, and that's the end of the horse.
Does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
Sleeper's Dream. Okay, it just teleports us.
A place of refuge, if only for a fleeting moment.
Okay, so that's what these lines indicate. Those are the points where, What happens if I use the... Okay, the herbs have no effect on the fresh harvest. Oh, it just heals, and I wasted it by using it on someone who was at full health. Oops. But these lines indicate an opportunity to rest. Okay. The fewer times I have to hit the Sleeper's Herald, the better, since it has a riposte ability. So... damaging it with Blight would have been great if it had actually inflicted Blight and if I had remembered to check its Blight resistance before trying to do that. Because if I had checked, I would have realized it has 140% Blight resistance, and that never had a chance of working. That worked, though. One of these days, I'm actually going to remember to check resistances before attacking. May as well go for one more hit to get rid of the farm
surges as the enemy
I can't do
crumbles.
anything to prevent trample. Let's get rid of the seed of
Executed with
madness.
impunity.
Okay, that's a very bad shuffle. That's one of the worst shuffle. That's the worst shuffle we've had so far. Okay, for now, I'm actually just gonna go with Adrenaline Rush on Valanche. Okay, I should probably try to get rid of the Plow Horse quickly, since it's the one that keeps causing shuffling. But of course, since it keeps using Paw of the Ground, which knocks it into stealth, there's not much I can do. Okay, how much does Incision bleed for 3? And his bleed resistance is only 60%. That isn't a bad opening move. Especially since this guy, the Foreman, that's the word I'm looking for. Foreman. The Foreman has a lot of really dangerous abilities. And I suppose the more out of position we are, the more likely it is that we knocked back into position when we inevitably get shuffled again. So with Incision, would have been real nice if that had hit. Oh, and I can use If It Bleeds from this position. The Foreman gets axed one more time and then he dies. Oh, come on. I refuse to believe Shuffle is random at this point. You planned that. We're shuffled almost exactly the way we were last time. The only difference is the Hellion is in front of the Crusader.
For the slightest lapse in concentration.
I'm actually going with Inspired because if I move the Crusader forward, I'll have to move the Hellion forward, canceling out the move. forward one also gets the Vestal into position 3, and I need the Vestal to be in position 3 rather badly.
That devastating blow.
Nice deep incision right there. Alright, I'm just gonna let the farmhand bleed to death. You know. And as for the horse, yeah, let's just go with if it bleeds. It does not bleed, apparently. I will say, I'm really liking the music for this section. This is rather tense, even though this is the early portion, but I gotta admit, the music at least is good. And going for a Twilight
The
Cry.
wounds of war can be healed, but never hidden.
Is any of us going to move before the plow horse? Yes! Good. Another Noxious Blast. It'd be nice if its debuff resistance was a little bit lower. Oh, and it's not going for Paw of the Ground, finally. It's decided to take a break from stealth. Probably just took pity on me because of how effective the stealth strategy was. Okay, only one of these enemies is not going to die next turn.
Slowly.
Well,
Gently.
technically speaking, I guess one of them's going to die
This is
this
how a
turn.
life is taken.
But this farmhand is the only thing I have to worry about, and now I don't.
Death by inches.
So with Adrenaline Rush, I want to wait until it becomes a Seed of Madness before I destroy it. Stop the Vestal's bleeding, and we need wide area
The
healing.
wounds of war
Would have been
can
nice to
be
get a bigger
healed.
roll than that, but, well,
never
we got what
hidden.
we got. I will say the stress levels are impressively low so far. And now they have regenerating health. Okay, Plague Grenade can
Impressive.
probably outdamage the regeneration. Barely. Alright, we can hack on the Sleeper's Herald. The Herald survived that, but I should be able to finish it off with Zealous Accusation. They can use Ceaseless Labor from any position, apparently. Oh. Now I can't finish it off from, now I may not be able to finish it off with Zealous Accusation because it gained health. Nope, it survived by 1 hit point. Okay, the Plague Doctor is in over his head, as if the rest of us aren't. We're near the end of this thing. This one doesn't have a riposte, and we have a good chance to get
Obliterated.
rid of the Scarecrow. We're almost there. Well, we're almost through this skirmish. There's a fair amount more left before the end of the mission. This is tough, even for max level heroes. Okay. That's 2 gone. One Noxious Blast. I'm not sure that will do the job. Well, if it fails to blight, it definitely will.
Begone, fiend.
Destroy the crystal with a little bit of healing for the Hellion. For now, it's just these 2. And wait, we're almost to another one of those rest points. I wonder what we'll get for that one. Alright, Zealous Accusation, and it missed again. Oh.
The instruments pause, but the symphony will soon continue.
Oh, nice. Complete healing for everyone. Okay, time for the 3rd round. Let's see if we can survive this.
encounter from the past. Or perhaps the future.
Alright. Iron Swan. This one. See how many of them we can get rid of before they have a chance to do anything. Blade Grenade won't get rid of any. And since we didn't surprise them, they're actually rather fast. Ow. And they hit rather hard. Right, smite on this one. And dazzle the last survivor so it doesn't get... And it resisted stun because it has 140% stun resistance. What was that comment about eventually learning to check the resistances before I use abilities? Yeah, I'm apparently still not there yet. Heal the Plague Doctor.
Great is the weapon that cuts on its own.
Yeah, good that we have a chance to use Inspiring Cry. We're gonna need the help. Bandits? That's odd. Ow.
Unnerved, unbalanced.
Because there really is no escaping blanket fire. We're literally in another dimension. There's still no escaping blanket fire. It is everywhere. The blanket fire is inescapable. Keep going for stuns. Stun and Blight is an okay way of dealing with this. Speaking of stunning, let's go for Stunning Blow. Okay. Of course, now they have elevated stun resistance, so I'm not likely to be able to do that again. I actually don't want to kill the infamous Cutthroat just yet. I want to kill the Bloodletter. So the Hellion has demonstrated that she's very adept at not killing anything. 140% stun resistance. That's not going to work, so I may as well go for Judgment.
Masterfully
Especially if I can get a
executed.
critical and reduce everyone's stress a little bit. Okay, all that's left is the Bloodletter. The others are about to keel over. And fortunately, monstrous size has no intrinsic merit, unless inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue. Light. A little more healing.
Compassion is a rarity in the fever.
And now we
pitch
just
of
need some
battle.
damage. One more solid hit and he's done. Or he'll take care of himself since he acted before the
quickly the
Crusader
tide
does.
turns.
Whoa, that did... I'm mainly concerned about the stress damage. The bleeding is a bit of a problem, but I think I can just out-heal it, which is good because we're running out of bandages, but... Wow. The stress from that ability was just crazy.
Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle.
And the Plague Doctor passed when I most needed battlefield medicine. Why did you have... I really need to get rid of whatever quirk is causing that. That's a big problem.
Perhaps the turning point.
Okay. Whoever has the most stress this time, that's still the Plague Doctor. And another Sleeper's Dream.
Safe
And we
from
have
the comet's maddening light. For now.
Mildred. What happens if I give her holy water? Nothing. Mildred's Locket. It's a keepsake. Miller, the Reaping. Minus 100% damage taken. Plus 40% blight resistance. Plus 3 speed. Plus 40% damage versus Miller. And I got a achievement. I might trade that for, Wait a second. Heaven's Hairpin hasn't been doing anything because it's contingent on the torch level, and the torch doesn't exist for this mission. Yeah, I'm just giving Mildred's Locket to the Hellion. And I made it up to earning a medium reward.
Rose of Earth. filled with blood.
Battlefield medicine to get rid of 2 of the 3 cases of bleeding and 1 swell food. And can Iron Swan one-shot? Yes, it can. Judgments. Also, Miller the Reaping sounds like the name of a really bad low-budget horror movie. Maybe that's just me, but it really does. Like Miller 2, The Reaping. Smite can't one-shot. It could two-shot, but that requires it to hit twice, and Smite really prefers hitting 0 times. Oh, great. I was hoping to use Plague Grenade to take out this farmhand and the crystal at the same time, and there the Plague Doctor goes, skipping the turn entirely. I'm guessing that happens when the hero's stress is above a certain level. Pause from labor. Really wish he hadn't done that, because now I can't one-shot him with Zealous Accusation. Of course, that would require Zealous Accusation to hit something, and we know how that attack feels when hitting things. Quick attack on this one. Plague Grenade on these 2. Now the Plague Doctor has decided to come out of retirement. Venom. And I'm just gonna go for healing. Judgment isn't gonna give me enough. Okay. Start running for Soda Seeds. 1 more Plague Grenade, and these, if it hits home, and these 2 are done. Last anti-venom. And now Smite is missing. Okay, I need to give up Wicked Hack to take out the Crystalline Aberration, because I can't afford to let those explode anymore. The horror will cause resolve checks. And, well, I can't afford those right now. Speaking of resolve checks, Presticott is irrational, and he's also blighted, and all I have to fix that
gasping,
is,
taken over the edge into madness.
the only thing I have that can fix his affliction, or his, not his affliction, but his, blight is Battlefield Medicine. And Zealous Accusation, that's at least progress. Sleeper's Herald. I probably should have used Battlefield Medicine, but I wanted to get a head start on taking out these 2. Let's just... You know what? I'm going to try Judgment anyway. And that's what I get for trying Judgment. Alright. I probably will repeat that mistake again, because y'all know my policy on learning from mistakes. Can you one-shot with Smite? You cannot. Wicked Hack probably can, though, so I'll just let the hell you do it. The main thing about this area, which is appropriate considering the fact that this is the color of madness, but one of the main challenges here is just the sheer amount of stress. There are so many enemies with stress-causing abilities. And yes, Wicked Hack can one-shot, and if it doesn't, I can finish it off with Judgment.
A decisive pummeling.
Down to 2, and we're relatively close to the next rest period. And so begins our second resolve check. And someone else is irrational.
Wherefore, heroism.
I wonder if I'm going to end up with a team who are all irrational at the same time. Alright, Zealous Accusation. And it hit this time. That's good. That's a pleasant surprise. Okay. This is a little frightening. And again, I'll just have the Plague Doctor start wearing down the back line. And the Hellion and the Crusader can start hacking into the front line. They can meet in the middle. No trespassers. You know, I will say, just gonna take a moment to be grateful that in the second round, we haven't been encountering plow horses. That is helpful. I'd gotten real tired of the endless shuffling. It's nice that it's finally done. And yeah, I'm deliberately letting Valange's health get a bit low because she does so much damage with the Lioness Warp. In the meantime, Blight skill effectiveness is... Oh no, we're not in the light color where Blight skill effectiveness is increased anymore. Judgment on the Foreman. Okay, guys. We've made it pretty far, but there's a lot more to go yet. Bandage, and I really need Zealous Accusation to hit. Thank you. Would have been nice if it had done slightly less damage so this guy wouldn't leave behind a corpse. Oh, I guess it didn't matter. Because reinforcements have arrived. For a moment, I thought that not turning into a crystal was good news. Stick with the plague grenades. Especially since it's the only thing I have that can hit the guy who's in stealth. And two more. And the Hellion and the Vestal are also getting pretty close. Okay, and our third resolve check of the mission. And this one is selfish. At least it's not irrational again, I guess. Let's see if we end up with 4 afflictions, or if Clarinel ends up coming out like courageous or something. And we'll find out pretty soon. We'll find out right now. Nope. The Vestal is masochistic. They're all afflicted.
Injury. Find it in no short supply.
Okay, I'm gonna have to use battlefield medicine soon. Alright, Zealous Accusation won't kill, and neither will Smite, apparently. And just use battlefield medicine on yourself. We can hack on the one that will definitely die if... I need to stop saying that. I keep forgetting about accuracy as a problem in these situations. And our first hero who's at death's door. And marked while we're at it. Okay, and another death's door check. Plus horror, which means a very serious risk of a heart attack. Heal him good. Oh, great. We need to end this fight right now. Because we have until his horror ticks over, or he dies. Alright, I'm gonna try for Inspiring Cry. Okay. Okay, that's not the worst choice for the Hellion. Alright. One more Plague Grenade and we're rid of the Foreman, if it lights. Close enough. He'll be done soon. He'll be done the next time he gets an action. Alright, that just leaves these two assholes. Unfortunately, these are the most durable farmhands I've ever encountered. They just refuse to die. Great. And now... And we've had our first heart attack, because we have...
Terrible vistas of emptiness reveal themselves.
Because each hero is inflicting stress on... Ah, great. Each hero is inflicting stress on all the other heroes. And now I can't heal the guy who's on death's door and taking damage over
Injury
time.
and despondence.
Okay,
set the stage
inspire
for
yourself
heroism.
off of death's door, Presticott. Thank you.
Cowardice.
Okay. I need to stop the crystalline aberration. I need this to hit. Thank you.
Singular strike.
Good work, Neo. And our next heart attack. That's heart attack number 2. Alright. Okay, that's finally one of the Indestructo hands is done. Now I just need to get rid of this guy. Okay. We're almost there. Really, everyone needs healing right now. Restore some hit points. And he no longer has repose, so let's just go with smite and miss. Alright. Okay, and we're getting beyond time and space.
A closer look, perhaps?
Okay, and this is the Miller's Hearth.
Circle
Start
in the
with
dark.
feast.
The battle may yet be won.
Zealous Vigil, Zealous Speech. Can't use Zealous Speech. That's not gonna let me. Pray, that'll do something. But, and now we can rest, but the Plague Doctor is still within heart attack range. Even after resting, we just do not have the resources to continue this. We need to get out of here. Just need to flee with our meager spoils.
Ignorance of your enemy and of yourself will invariably lead to defeat.
So I think I still got the quest rewards. It is a little weird that they didn't record new voice lines for the farmstead and the courtyard, where leaving partway through the mission is actually normal and not a sign that you failed. You can't gain experience anyway. And now someone has the Black Plague.
I can still see
Well,
their
we got
angry
20
faces as they
crystal
stormed
shards.
the
That's
manor.
not too bad.
But I was dead before they found me. And the letter was on its way.
Let's treat Neo's Black Plague. How are these people still in the medical ward? Did a week not pass when we did that quest? Anyway. Quick, get some stress treatment because it is needed very badly, and let's find out what Presticott is restricted to. You can only drink. Okay, so what I got from that mission was a few negative quirks, a disease, a whole bunch of stress, and 25 crystal shards. Because we essentially broke even in terms of gold somehow. So, let's go on another mission. And in this case, I think it'd be a good idea to train up the noobs. So we have a Crusader, an Arbalest, a Flagellant, and a Bounty Hunter. I think that's viable. What is this trinket? Lucky Talisman. That's potentially pretty good for the Grave Robber. Okay, let's go for it. Equip all trinkets, sort, and let's go through the Arbalest, the Vengeful Greaves, and the Steady Bracer. Everything the Arbalest can do is ranged, I believe. Yeah, I've lost a number of very good trinkets. I really need to visit the Shrieker sometime. For now, I'll get the Agility Talon for the Bounty Hunter and the Warrior's Bracer. And for the Flagellant, let's get... Yeah, I'll use Eternity's Collar and the Chipped Tooth. And the Crusader gets the same as always. Okay. This is a long mission. Not bringing a main healer on this mission isn't ideal, but, well, we don't have any novice level main healers. Plenty of anti-venom bandages, some medicinal herbs, a couple of keys, holy water torches, and holy water torches! And I'm not going to forget the shovels. Okay, let's see if you guys survive this.
To prosecute our war against the swine, we must first scout their squalid homes.
Okay. I have an idea of the route I want to take through this map. It's going to be a little strange, but it should work. Frankly, this whole area is... this whole layout is strange. Okay. Let's go straight for Sniper Shot, because one more solid hit will get rid of the drummer. Unfortunately, I don't have Rain of Sorrows equipped, so you can't deliver that hit. How much does Caltrops bleed for? 2. So that won't be enough immediately. And against my better judgment, I'm going for Zealous Accusation, and it paid off this time.
Unnerved, unbalanced.
And
Crush disadvantage. Give them no quarter. The slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
Let me see. Yeah, get rid of Suffer and replace it with Rain of Sorrows. Because frankly, I know how to use Rain of Sorrows. I still haven't figured out... Wait. I didn't notice that before. I just have complete scouting. The pack had a map inside of it, and the map apparently perfectly covers everything. Considering the fact this is an exploration mission, does this mean we can just go home? Can we just call this mission a success? It's like, well, we know everything about this area now, apparently. Now, we have to actually go to each of the rooms to confirm that the map is accurate, yada, yada, yada. Can't just shirk your responsibilities.
These tunnels predate even the earliest settlers.
Let the bounty hunter handle this one. There is still going to be a little bit of backtracking on this map. Some is unavoidable, but a lot of it can be avoided.
Ancient traps lie in wait, unsprung and thirsting for blood.
We'll take this one now. And more worms and occultist. Collect bounty could one-shot. It won't, but it could. Sniper shot just straight up can't.
Destroyed.
Alright, can Rain of Sorrows get the kill? No. Which means the cultist witch gets to do one thing before she dies. And that one thing is to miss, apparently. Alright. Might as well use Reclaim. And it actually inflicted bleeding this time. And may as well use Rallying Flare.
The way is lit. The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it.
Salvage the unburnt torch. Technically, I could have avoided the hallway battles if I went... Well, no, I would have had to go back because I need to scout this room and this room. Starting with Punish. And over here we have Sniper Shot.
Obliterated. Eradicated.
So Punish essentially contributed nothing to that. I should have used Rain of Sorrows. I mean, it really isn't going to matter. Considering the fact that one thing the Wretch is ever going to get to do was attack and miss.
Their formation is broken.
This is
Maintain
oddly...
the offensive.
This is oddly refreshing by like kind of relaxing by comparison to that champion level mission over in the Farmstead. Of course, now we have access to some vanilla champion level missions in addition to the other courtyard mission. Though, I'm kind of wary of going to the courtyard unless I have multiple invitations, which doesn't really make sense when you think about it, because logically I should be able to go, because I may as well go using the invitations I have. Sorrows and then Sniper Shot on the one in the back to guarantee that one of them dies now. Smite is pretty much a guaranteed kill against the Slasher, and now let's see how close Collect Bounty can get. Not particularly close. Well, it can two-shot. That's good enough. I'm a little surprised I'm getting away with this mission without having a main healer. But so far, it actually appears to be going okay. Actually go for Punish. Because one more hit of Sniper Shot will deal with the Wretch.
Slowly, gently. This is how a life is
Or
taken.
Collect Bounty, or Collect Bounty won't. Okay, Roz, your job is to hit things. Can you do it?
Confidence
Yes, you
surges
can.
as the enemy crumbles.
Grab the citrine for the emeralds. Okay, and our first instance of backtracking. Okay, and a little bit this way. Another trap to disarm, another torch to ignite. Burning away our wealth beyond measure. I'll trade the jade for the portraits.
Packs laden with loot are often low on supplies.
Before much longer, we should actually make camp just because... And I traded away the item that would have allowed me to do something with that alder. Alder. It's an altar, not an alder. But... pretty soon, I think we're going to need to make camp just to clear up some inventory space. Sorrows. Okay, that could be bad. It isn't, though, because these move abilities at least have a chance of failure. Right. Collect bounty on the one that you can one-shot, even if you don't one-shot it. Okay, Zealous Accusation should do the job, and it hits, and
As
it
the fiend
does.
falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Punish the pig. Punish it! One more sniper shot will be enough for the wretch.
Great is the
One more
weapon that
smite will
cuts
be
on
enough
its
for the
own.
chopper. And then we win.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy
Or I don't even need
them
the smite because I'll
all.
bleed to death. Who has the most stress? That would be the flagellant. Though I suppose stress isn't as bad for the flagellant as it is for the other heroes. Choose reply. Actually, probably not a good choice. Definitely not a good choice. I'm just trying to stall until the chopper dies. You know what? Wait, does flashbang cause damage? No, it doesn't. I can just keep messing with him until he bleeds to death. Like that.
These nightmarish creatures can be
Light some
felled.
firewood.
They can be beaten.
Feast. Grab the last 50 gold. Realize I don't remember if anybody has any abilities that prevent ambush, but the Crusader has Zealous Vigil. Let's combine that with Zealous Speech. And, field dressing on the one guy who's bleeding. And now it's time to sleep.
The light.
This has been a
the
really...
promise of
This has
safety.
gone surprisingly well. I mean, I'm sure that's going to turn around somehow, but I'm surprised we've gotten away with as much as we have with this mission.
A fortune, waiting to be spent.
It's 400. It's like 350 gold and some food. I'd hardly call that a fortune. I mean, it's not bad. I'm not complaining. Punish the skeleton. It's rather meaningless, but whatever. I don't think there's a bounty on this skeleton, but let's collect
Another
it anyway.
abomination, cleansed from our
One more
lands.
hit. Or one more miss, and then the fight continues.
Success so clearly in view. Or is it merely a trick of the light?
And it's our first crazy person for the episode, if you don't count the narrator. There you go with the usual sniper shot Rain of Sorrows combo.
Gnawing uncertainty.
But he's making baseless accusations at our fine and honorable flagellant. Let's get some revenge for that. Let's get some revenge for those entirely baseless accusations. And of course the madman goes first. Why are crazy people so fast? A little bit more Rain of Sorrows to deal with the slasher. And sniper shot to push us over
Another
the
one
top.
falls.
Now we just consolidate our forces while we wait for the crazy person to bleed to death. I mean, who hasn't been there? And may as well use Call Trop. Why not? Okay. Rallying Flare will be really good in this situation because everyone has at least some stress. Okay, there we go.
A trifling victory, but a victory nonetheless.
And more jade. Maybe I shouldn't have dropped the other jade. Anyway, I need to inspect the nothing in this room before we can move on. Instinct with the sniper shot Sorrow Rain combo. And that's one of the Fusiliers gone. Though, I repeat, there is no escaping blanket fire. There's nowhere you can go where you will be safe from blanket fire. Collect bounty should finish off the other cutthroat, but it didn't. We'll have to deal with that next turn. continue the sorrow rain on the other guy. So we are starting to experience the downside of not having a main healer. Gonna have to use the flame on the bounty hunter.
Well struck.
There we go.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
Some bandages. We have not needed the anti-venom like I thought we would this mission. I was expecting to go through a lot of that, but we still have all of the anti-venom that we brought. I'm kind of lucky in the poison department, actually. And I guess the stagehands got a little excited. We went through this hallway like 10 seconds ago, and there's already another trap in here. You know, I know you need to reset the dungeon for the next group of poor bastards who come through here, but you really should wait at least until we're actually out of the area before you do that. Okay, 2 more chests, and a curio and some empty rooms, and then we can all go home. Alright. Sniper shot on the drummer. Critical would have been real nice, but I didn't expect one. You know, Rain of Sorrows would combine very well with Plague Grenade. There's a little bit of blight and a little bit of bleeding on the enemy's backline. Okay, so a little more damage to the chopper and then he's gone. Punish should be able to... Not quite. I was going to say Punish should be able to... Well, we're close enough now. I was thinking one of my heroes would get a turn before the chopper did. I was thinking wrong. I really need to learn to stop thinking. I always get myself into trouble when I try to think. Bandage, Inspiring Cry, not that that's even really necessary. And I may as well just finish this one off.
As victories mount, so too will resistance.
Light one torch.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
And I don't need 2 full stacks of food. 1 is enough. Okay. And even more loot, or not. This one's probably full of disappointment, too. It is! I guess my predictions are on the money sometimes, usually when I'm predicting something bad. I believe there's always a room battle in rooms with treasure unless they're secret rooms. Okay. We start with the element of surprise. This might be enough to get rid of the drummer, but it isn't. At least not immediately.
Be gone, fiend.
But it is enough to get rid of the slasher. Just stun the chopper because I know I can't finish him off this turn. And I literally missed. I missed. Okay, I promise I will never make fun of my heroes for missing easy shots again. I was attempting to click on the chopper, and I accidentally clicked on the corpse next to it. My aim is that bad. And then the Crusader has just been in the front, standing there being puked on.
Seize this momentum. Push on to the task's end.
Rocks. And I probably should just use the other firewood, but there isn't even much point in doing so. The stress levels aren't even high. And there aren't any hallway battles between here and my destination, so I shouldn't be able to run into the collector. Okay, so it's basically the previous room battle, but easier.
May we find victory.
Just hoping that would do slightly more damage.
Impressive.
Collect bounty won't kill, but I'm just setting up for zealous accusation, which also won't kill, but we're rid of the slasher at least. Frankly, everybody in this team composition is pretty worn down by this. How did you get a tapeworm from being puked on? Like, how does that, of all the things to give you, how does that give you a tapeworm? You know what? I really don't want to know.
A dizzying blow to body and brain.
And all of a sudden, we actually have some stress. We need to inflict a little bit more damage and we're rid of these enemies now. Okay. That mission turned sideways real quick. Take
Be
what we
wary.
can, and now we have a
Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
Why won't it let me make camp? Oh, because the mission is over. Because I could have skipped 2 rooms. Well, let's continue adventuring for a moment, because we may as well get the essentially free stress
Huddled
tree.
together, furtive and vulnerable. Rats in a
Zealous
maze.
Vigil, Zealous Speech, and all the stress levels are 0. Okay, let's get out of here.
The swine folk's labyrinth may yet prove to be navigable.
Okay, fairly respectable amount of loot for a novice mission, plus the 7,500 gold reward. I'm also pretty excited about the heirloom haul. And frankly, the main goal of that mission was the experience. Oh, that's quite bad. Corbett is the flagellant is a nervous bleeder. His accuracy is low when he's bleeding. And the bounty hunter is antsy, which means that he gains stress whenever he's idle. I'm gonna have to get rid of that quirk immediately.
Life. The greatest treasure of all.
Whoa. Well, I suppose it was bound to happen sooner or later. The question is, who do I get rid of? And the obvious choice would be one of my 3 flagellants. I'll get rid of this one. Hughes. And the other question is who
Another
to keep.
soul battered
Sigmund?
and broken, cast aside like a spent torch.
Mules. Okay, Traley, so level 1 Leper, level 2 Man-at-Arms, or level 3 Occultist. I'm gonna go for the level 3 Occultist, because I think of those 3 classes, Occultist is the one I have the fewest of.
To fight the abyss, one must know it.
Okay. Got some diseases to treat. Focus on the tapeworm, but you probably need to get rid of the vampiric spirits too. And Corbett. Let's get rid of Nervous Bleeder, because that could be a very serious problem for a flagellant. Now let's see what condition my champions are in. Well, they're mostly okay, but Neo isn't. And Presticott isn't available. Anyway, well, this is not going to be the end of this episode. I am going to get a fresh recording file, so I will be back in a moment.
No peace for this wretched soul.
Okay, I am back. And I'm going to spend a little bit of gold upgrading some things. And then it's time to go on another mission. Let's see what my options are. Let's see, I could visit the cove and take on the sunken crew. Let's see, what would be a good team composition for the crew? The crew has always been one I have a little trouble putting together teams for. So, if I remember correctly, the crew occupy 3 spaces, so I can hit them if I can hit position 2. Let's see, whoever is going, Gale has to go. The other question is the crew Eldritch or is the crew Unholy? I can never remember. Because if they're unholy, it'd be a good idea to bring a Crusader. But I don't know for certain that they are. I think I'm going to bring a Leper, a Crusader, and a Houndmaster along with the Vestal. I think that's a viable team for this mission. Since it's a mid-level boss, the team composition isn't quite as vital as it would otherwise be. Alright, so grab the Ancestor Scroll and the Worry Stone. And for the Houndmaster, he's not in a position where he can use Blackjack, so let's focus on increasing his range damage. Get him the Steady Bracer, and I'll go with the Sun Ring. I can keep the torch above 75, at least for the actual boss fight. Okay, get the Signed Conscription and the Glittering Spaulders, and for the Leper, let's go with the Redemption Armlet, and the Warrior's Cap. Okay. As for camping skills, I have Zealous Vigil and Reflection. Those are the camping skills I really care about. Okay, let's go kill ourselves a crew. That should be enough torches. Decent supply of food. There's some use for anti-venom and bandages, but there isn't a lot. Shovels. There's always that moment of what I think I'm ready, and it's like, what have I forgotten?
I employed a crew of particularly unsavory mariners, who for a time sailed the 4 corners at my behest, retrieving many valuable artifacts, relics, and rare texts. Predictably, they increased their tariffs to counter my intense stipulations of secrecy. Such resources had long been exhausted, of course, and so I prepared an alternative payment. The poor devils, chained and drowning for eternity.
This is rather straightforward. This is actually a very simple. This is going to be a very simple route.
Carelessness will find no clemency in this place.
Of course, that doesn't mean there won't be dangerous enemies. And yes, I did miss the brackish tide pool because I was checking what the trap debuff did. Well, let's get some healing for the damage we just took. Like so. And loot! And it's not going to be another Uber map that just reveals everything. But yeah, I'm pretty confident that I know where the boss is this time. Also, if I'm remembering correctly, I believe this is the final mid-level boss. After this, we're down to just champion bosses.
Another misfortune.
That is, champion bosses including the Countess, and also we're going to have the Darkest Dungeon after that. I wonder if I'll ever be able to pull off a deathless run in this game. That would be... Doing this game with no hero deaths would be very hard, but I do think it's possible to do. Okay, Houndberry bleeds for 2. A few hits of it could actually seriously mess up the shamans.
Obliterated.
It addition to chop, getting rid of the enemy's front line. Okay, judgment, because I'm not confident that smite can one-shot them otherwise.
Confidence
It wouldn't
surges as the
have,
enemy crumbles.
and there we go. Okay, as long as they don't use Sea Breeze, I'm probably okay. Ah, Stress Wave, and on the one with 0 stress, that's helpful. And their stealth is about to wear off, too. Of course, that doesn't help a lot when half my team can only attack positions 1 and 2. Hugh has a decent chance to one-shot both corpses. And there we go. Now there aren't corpses anymore. Hound's Rush on this one. And let's let Gale finish it off. Or not. I was hoping Gale would get a chance to add to her kill count, but I guess the Crusader...
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
The unmovable helmet can stay behind, but we need a shovel. Okay. Who has the worst negative quirk? Let's see. I think Ablutomania is actually the worst negative quirk any of us has, so... And the one it got rid of was Antsy instead. Wait, Antsy is actually still bad. That's the one that makes it so that... I think Antsy is the quirk that makes it so that, if you do nothing in town, that actually causes your stress level to go up. So never mind, getting rid of that is really helpful. Even if it wasn't locked in. Okay, we got exactly the same room as the room we just finished earlier. Same team composition, same portion of the enemies are in stealth, and there's a clam, there's an oyster in the background. They're just getting lazy now. They're just reusing dungeon rooms.
The light, the promise of safety.
Back when the ancestor was around, this kind of laziness never would have been tolerated. Okay, we're having some accuracy issues. Ow. Smite the one with fewer hit points. Okay, get one more Hound's Harry, that would be good. Though honestly, I should probably have the Houndmasters focus on taking out the Oracles now that they aren't in stealth anymore. I'm gonna go for healing, even though that means the Oracle gets to live for one more turn. Hugh?
As the fiend
okay,
falls,
that's one.
A faint hope blossoms.
And that's two. Now I just need the other Oracle not to use Sea Breeze on the wounded Oracle. And instead he's going for Stress Wave, which is better, I guess. Well, I mean, it missed. That's definitely better. Judgment? I really need to stop doing that. And Purge. And Smite.
Press this advantage. Give them no
Okay,
quarter.
that leaves just the last Oracle. And now there's not even him.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
May as well pry the oyster open, see if we get anything useful. 600 gold. Okay. Now we're already rather close to the boss room. Okay, disarm the tentacle monster. How exactly does one disarm a tentacle monster? Do you just drop a really big rock into the water and crush it to death or something? And again, a trap followed by a pack containing loot. This dungeon repeats itself a lot, apparently. It also repeats itself. Light us up some more more torch.
In Radiance, may we find
And-
victory.
Okay, this is new, and not really in a good way.
Decimated.
Fortunately, the stingers are fragile. And let's stun the ghoul. Always go for stun as long as there's a ghoul alive.
Annihilated.
Okay, that's the front line taken care of. Now we just have to deal with the ghoul with now heavily elevated stun resistance. Let's see. Okay, no chance to stun. May as well just go for the heal. So if I can get the Crusader into melee range with the ghoul, that would be helpful. That's unfortunate. I was really okay. So
As the
I
light
guess
gains
the
purchase,
Crusader and the Leper have
spirits
really
are lifted.
similar speeds because they went.
Purpose is made
The Leper
clear.
went first last round, and the Crusader went first this round. The Houndmaster really is the MVP of this fight. He's the one who's doing all the work. The worry. How do you get a disease from Howl? Of all of the ways to get a disease, Howl. That is officially the weirdest cause of disease I've ever seen. I suppose it's appropriate to give you the worries, but even so.
The bigger the beast, the greater the glory.
Plus 30% stress. That's not a serious problem. Not at all. That's fine. We can just walk that off. Okay, no scouting.
The twisted faces
Okay.
of the damned, piled high and cloaked in malice.
Okay, so I guess we're gonna be fighting two bosses in this mission. Alright. 50% chance to stun. Let's see if that works. It does not. Really should have equipped target whistle. Okay, so doing this the easy way is officially off the table. Alright. Smite will not one-shot. But this should leave me with a good chance. Yeah, okay,
Continue
we
the
finish off the
onslaught.
collected man-at-arms with Chop.
Destroy them all.
That's really unfortunate. The collected highway. And he's going for Rampart. Wait, no, that's not Rampart. It doesn't have a knockback chance. And he immediately goes for Collect Call, though I suppose the good news is he isn't going for Drain Life. Hound is really my only chance to damage the Collector in this situation. Okay, Headhunt causes a fair amount of bleeding, but I brought a fair amount of bandages. Alright, if Smite cannot one-shot it, I'll go for Stunning Blow. Wonderful. Now he's protected. This is going to be a slow process, and that is very bad. Yeah, there is a decent chance that this expedition is doomed. Okay, try to stun him out of the protected zone. Good. Thank you, Gale. Okay, he's not protected anymore. Let's get rid of the Vestal. And another Headhunt. Alright. And another Hound Hunt. Alright, just keep building up the bleeding damage. Okay. I would need a critical to one-shot the Highwayman, so I'm just gonna go for Stunning Blow. If I can at least stun him, he won't use Headhunt. Please don't use Collect Call. Thank you. Thank you. That was the most helpful thing you could possibly have done, Collector. Chop on this one. And now he's within reach of every stunning ability we have. Alright. Start by trying to dazzle him.
The match
luck.
is struck. A blazing star is born.
And Stunning Blow. 60% chance to stun. Please connect. Thank you. Now, okay, that's perfect. Now he's within range of the leper. Now we can take him out. We just have to do one last head knocker, and then we should be able to get rid of this asshole. Alright. I'm gonna start my victory lap by having Gale heal everyone. Alright, he's bleeding for 8. I don't need to do very much for him to die.
A predator
That is plenty.
Blind to its own peril.
Thank you, Gale. Or thank you.
Seize
Sorry, I'm
this
used to leper Gale.
Push
Thank
on
you,
to the
Vivio.
task's end.
I'm used to leper Gale. But now I have Vestal Gale. Okay, one more room, and then if we don't have successful scouting, we're making camp. Oh no. That's bad. And now you have a tapeworm. Admittedly, tapeworm is one of the less bad diseases. Like, in gameplay terms. Having the tapeworm is not that bad compared to the other diseases you could have got. Alright. Okay, Hound's Rush might actually be the best way to get rid of the maggot. If I can inflict bleeding, which I apparently can. This enemy composition is a bit slow to get rid of, but I think I can do it. %74% chance to hit.
Destroyed.
And Viviel is apparently mad at me for doubting him and for calling him the wrong name, and has decided to prove what he can do. Another Hound's Rush, if it causes bleeding, will get rid of the plated maggot. Go ahead and dazzle the Oracle so we
The
can't
way
use
is
Sea
lit.
Breeze again.
The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it.
Okay, guys. We need good numbers for this Hound's Rush. Perfect. Chop.
Eradicated.
One remaining.
The flesh is knit.
That's a lot of healing for Inspiring Cry. You know, seriously, it's quite a motivational speech that can actually manage to, like, repair your flesh and restore lost blood and stuff. That's, you know,
This expedition
you
at
really,
least promises success.
this Crusader really has some impressive motivational speaking skills. Okay, I'm probably not going to loot the treasure chest until after we, let's return to our default party order. I'm probably not going to loot the treasure chest until after we've completed the boss fight. And I need to hold on to my supplies. Though, actually, I might just make camp, and that might clear up enough inventory space. Ah, here we go. The infamous Uea Crusher, and I have minimal damage over time and 0 protection reducing abilities. This is gonna be a bit of a journey. I do have the ability to inflict some bleeding, though, but we're gonna have to deal with at least one. That thing is gonna get at least one good hit on us, if not 2. And that's focusing everything we have. And that's discounting the possibility of them using Sea Breeze on it. Yeah, this thing is gonna be around for a while. Like a tapeworm. We just better get used to it, apparently. Chop. Okay, that at least canceled out Sea Breeze. May as well try to stun one of the oracles, because the more of them that are stunned, the less opportunity they have to heal the Crusher. Ow. Okay, that was nice, Holland. You got hit with Tidal Slam, and he managed to resist everything. One good smite. That was not a good smite. That was a bad smite. You know, one more solid hit from the Leper, and the Crusher is probably done. Though, I mean, the Leper has been consistently hitting for 11, so I probably should have gone for Judgment, but you know what? The stun is good. Chop.
Their cursed champion balls.
Again, I say something negative about the leper and everything turns around. Not only did he one-shot the thing, but he got a critical, so it didn't even leave a corpse, which means their backline is now completely exposed. Nice job, Viviel. You would absolutely be in line for a promotion if promotions existed in this operation. Of course, this fight would have been much easier if I had remembered to equip Target Whistle, since I believe Target Whistle reduces protection. You see, I'm in charge, and I'm completely unqualified. That's why you're not in line for a promotion, because frankly, Viviel, this is not a meritocracy. I wouldn't even be here if this was a meritocracy.
Foolish horrors.
Okay.
Brought low and driven into the mud.
Baby, light my fire. Feast. Collect the loot. Alright, the big ones are Zealous Vigil to prevent stress, and to prevent nighttime ambush, and Reflection for plus 10 accuracy and 8% critical rate for the leper. And I have 5 time units. Let's go for Zealous Speech to finish the job. Wait. The plus 20% stress skills applies to camping skills? That's awesome! I didn't know that! The camping skills are enhanced by trinkets. I assumed their effect couldn't be upgraded. Okay, let's drop the, I don't have scouting, so I don't know for certain there's not. Let's drop the holy water and the medicinal herbs for the 24 crests we just found. That's gonna be helpful. God damn it. I dropped the medicinal herbs. Like 1 second later, we have a fish carcass for which I could have used medicinal herbs. Like I said, not a meritocracy. Ow.
A dizzying blow to body and brain.
Okay, you can move back too. That'll get us back into formation quickly, at least. And I again forgot to equip Target Whistle. I'm just gonna go with Judgment.
The wounds of war can be healed, but never hidden.
Chop is pretty much a guaranteed kill against the guy who was Judgmented. And since I can't one-shot the other Cutthroat, I may as well go for Stunning Blow. They have a lot of protection. Okay, that's the end of the Cutthroats. Unfortunately, it's not the end of the corpses. Even in death, they still obstruct me. Does Purge absolutely require the leper to be in position 1? I think it does. Let's get fully back to formation. Yes, it does. I can use Purge the next time the leper gets a turn. Let's hope he goes before the Crusader this time. He did, thank you. One more Hound's Rush and that one's gone, and now we just have one Fusilier to deal with. We have Gale concentrate on healing because we're right before a boss fight with precious few opportunities to restore hit points. Please stun. Thank you. Okay. And this should do the job. And it does.
Success so clearly in view.
Okay, I'm gonna drop the remaining
Or is
extra
it merely
keys.
a trick of the light?
Right. Light up a torch right before the boss fight, going in with late 94 to get the benefit from the sun ring.
Even in
Yep,
death,
they
the
occupy
captain
3
shouts
spaces,
his
I
orders,
think.
and the crew obeys.
Okay, so it has 50% protection until it is, and 70% stun resistance, but 50% protection until it is activated. Actually, I'm just gonna have him move back because that way the leper gets the damage bonus. Alright, and once it uses Heave 2, its damage resistance goes back down. And its stun resistance also goes down. But stunning it does not prevent it from using Heave 2. Chop! Okay, that's the end of him. Drink with the dead. Okay, now we have a little bit of time to inflict damage on the crew, and the crew is indeed unholy. Perfect. Okay. Getting a dog treat and Hound's Rush. You need to inflict a lot of damage on the crew when they're not healing. Fortunately, that is one thing that this composition is good at. Inflicting damage fast. I mean, we've already taken... It's been a little bit more than one combat round, and we've already taken away a third of the crew's hit points. Oh, and the crew also has increased protection while Heave 2 is active. Which I suppose is almost meant as like a further hint to the player, go after the ropeman. Okay, Chop is a guaranteed kill, but Hew is almost guaranteed. Especially if it gets a critical. Okay, we just undid all of the hit points that it gained from doing that. What's your stun resistance? Your stun resistance is 70%. Well, I have 120% base stun chance. Look at that. Ah, oh, darn, it didn't work. I was hoping to prevent him from using all hands on deck this round. Except it would have actually prevented Drink with the Dead, which does almost nothing, and then he would have used all hands on deck next with his next action. Or not do that with either of his actions and just choose not to use his most dangerous ability that round. Oh, he's used it now. Alright, if I can stun the ropeman, that would be perfect. And I have a 50% chance. Boarding Clutch could be bad. It not only does pretty good damage, but it also does bleeding. Fortunately, this round, Boarding Clutch is not bad. Okay, gotta kill the ropeman again.
The will to fight falters.
Ah, I missed again. I meant to hit the ropeman, and I instead hit the sunken crew. Okay, I promise, I will never make fun of the Houndmaster's accuracy again for the rest of this playthrough. I promise, to all Houndmasters, I promise I'll stop teasing you. You see, and this time he uses it immediately. I guess there's a random element to whether or not he uses it, but if he keeps spamming all hands on deck like that, we could be in serious trouble, since it's a guaranteed 5 hit points, basically. We collect the dog treats.
Masterfully executed.
There we go. That a critical right when I needed it. And now it's using Mutiny, which reduces damage and critical rate. That's unfortunate. Alright, Gale, just fix the Houndmaster. I know, Gale, you're thirsting for blood. You want to grab your Executioner Sword and cleave the enemy in half, but you have to remember, you're a Vestal now. You have to focus on healing. However, Viviel, the one who is still a leper, has a decent chance to finish it off this way. And he gets it! Nice job, everyone.
For captain and crew. Fitting.
Nice job, everyone. You all performed impeccably in that mission. And so ends the final mid-level boss fight. And we have another blueprint. Though I may have more blueprints than I'm ever going to use. Though I don't know, once I've finished upgrading the regular hamlet structures, I'll have a lot less use for heirlooms, and I may end up investing in more of the districts. I'll have to... actually, before the end of this episode, I'm going to go through the districts and see what else we can get. And nobody made a champion, but they still got plenty of experience. Also, Holland has mastered the art of turning around and no longer experiences stress when backing up. And Viviel is an Eldritch Slayer. That could be Any damage boosting quirk on a leper is extremely
Even these
valuable.
dirt-covered dullards have their uses. Put them to work.
Labor force. Historically, seasonal laborers have been loath to make the journey along the old road, but harsh economic conditions have driven them to desperation. I get a free building upgrade. That... I'm gonna go with patient cells to increase the effect of a
Curious
caregiver's
methodologies and
convention.
apparatus can calm even the most tormented soul.
I know what I'm getting is the medical ward, not the treatment ward, but I have to get one before I can get the other. So, generally increase... And also, I have 3 people with diseases right now, so that's useful. But generally, increasing the number of cells is good because it increases the effect. I would have had to get this one before I could get the next upgrade anyway, and having maximum upgrades for the treatment ward is pretty useful because, like I said, it increases the effect of a caregiver's convention. Let me see, so the cartographer's camp, I got the granary. The performance hall is the one I can afford, but while I like the jester class, this isn't that useful of an ability for them. The Athenium might be useful. Oh, the Altar of the Light could be extremely useful. Plus 10% healing skills to the Crusader, the Flagellant, and the Vestal. That could be very useful, but I'm nowhere near the number of heirlooms I would need to create it. The House of the Yellow Hand looks pretty useful too, giving plus 4% critical chance to the Bounty Hunter, Grave Robber, and Highwayman. The Bounty Hunter getting that is the main benefit, considering how high damage of a class that already is. I also should get Gale some stress treatment. But, having had an experience with the Farmstead and defeated defeated the final of the mid-level bosses, this is going to be the end for this episode. Thank you all for watching. I love you all, and I will see you next time.